Magandang gabi po mga katipon sa Pilipinas. At Happy Valentine's Day. Ito po ang ating katipunan. Muling sumasa inyo mga tagapakinig upang magbigay ng mahalagang impormasyon, magbigay liwanag, at higit sa lahat, makinig sa inyong mga daing at kuro-kuro hinggil sa mga problemang patuloy na nagpapahirap sa ating kalagayan at kabuhayan. Sa susunod na 2 oras, sisikapin po namin ipaliwanag ang iba-ibang bahagi ng ating ekonomiya at ang mga mabibigat na local and international issues na may malaking epekto sa ating buhay at kinabukasan. Ito po ang inyong katipon, na si Butch Valdes, kasama ang ating co-host na si Valdes. At iba pang mga katipon dito mula sa Save the Nation Movement, Philippine LaRouche Society at ito pong partido politikal natin na Katipunan ng Demokratikong Pilipino. Narito po kami lahat na nag-aanyaya sa inyo na makibahagi sa ating talakayan sa pagsusuri ng mga kasulukuyang problema at paghahanap ng kaukulang solusyon. Okay, ngayong gabi meron po tayong mga pag-uusapan na siguro 2 or 3 subjects, di ba ito? Unang-una po, pag-usapan natin itong nakaraan impeachment proceedings sa Amerika at na-quit itong si dating Presidente Donald Trump. Pangalawa po, ang isa nating gustong pag-usapan na yan.
You want to talk about the space program?
Okay. Ngayon po, this week actually, is very significant dahil
for humanity.
For all of humanity. Right. Just imagine, there are 3 spaceships or 3 now satellites orbiting the planet Mars. No? One is from the United States, another is from China, and another, believe it or not, is a satellite that was launched by United Arab Emirates. They have a space program, and later on we will talk about it.
So for the first part,
itong kay Trump muna.
Yeah, let's discuss it. Let's discuss the first part, then the second part towards kasi importante po yan. It reminds us of what we could have been also. Yeah. Sa second part about the space program. Very significant events this week po nangyari for the world. Number 1, of course, ito yung nakikita natin na impeachment ni Donald Trump. Of course, again, yung basehan po ng pag-impeach sa kanya, impeach na hindi na siya presidente, pero in-impeach pa siya ulit. Yung January 6 daw, siya po nag-incite ng riot sa Capitol. Maalala po natin na may mga...
Presidente pa siya noon,
officially. Actually, hindi na siya president-elect. Diba? Pero presidente.
Yun ang day na nagkaroon ng president-elect.
So January 6. And January 6 was the day also, we have to remember, that they were going to look at the evidence of election cheating sa Capitol na hindi na nangyari kasi nagkagulo. Okay, so Trump lawyers and Trump allies in Congress were set to present on January 6 lahat ng ebidensya nila about the election fraud, right? Yung 2020 election where nakuha ni Biden over 80 million votes, making him the most popular president in US history. Okay? Kung naniniwala po kayo dyan, medyo kailangan magbasa-basa muna tayo ng konti. Pero this is January 6. So in January 6, nag-speech po si Trump. At nag-speech siya, sabi niya, lakad tayo sa Capitol, suportahan natin yung mga kakampi natin sa Kongreso. When they give the evidence, give them strength. So lahat tayo pupunta doon. Ngayon, ang nangyari, kasabay nun, may lumusob sa Capitol. May lumusob sa building at
Mga grupo.
mga iba't ibang grupo na sinasabi nila Antifa, na may halong Trump supporters, na may gano'n. So marami po tayong, diniscuss na po natin yan dati. So the Democrats now, what they did after January 20, sabi ngayon nila, kailangan ma-impeach si Trump. Kasi inciting to violence siya nung January 6.
Pero
Diba?
yung
Yeah.
sinasabi mo kanina ito,
Mm.
dahil dito sa nagkagulo sa Capitol,
Right.
isang nangyari, hindi nagkaroon ng pagkakataon yung mga kakampi ni Trump
Yes.
ilabas ang mga ebidensya dun sa dayaan. Hindi sila nagkaroon. Dahil lang dito sa lumusob na mga tao.
Mm.
Kaya palagi, dapat ang iniisip natin dito, sino ba nagbenepisyo?
Cui bono.
Yes.
Mm.
Who benefited in that so-called incident na sumugod sa Capitol?
Right.
Ang mga sabi nila, mga tauhan daw ni Trump.
Na siya nag...
Isipin niyo po, guguluhin ko ba yung
Oo.
proceedings sa Capitol
Mm.
ng Congress kung yun ang hinihintay kong pagkakataon para mailabas yung mga ebidensya sa dayaan
Right.
ng eleksyon nung dinaya ako. Kung ako si Trump, bakit ko gagawin yun? Di ba?
Mm.
Pero alam mo nyo na po ang media, ang galing-galing nilang magbaliktad, baliktad. At ang sinabi lang mga binihis lang nila ng Trump no?
Mm.
Pinasok nila yon, ginulo, wala nang napakinggan na ebidensya. At agad-agad, hindi po di ba?
Yeah.
They just declared
Yeah, they just declared, tapos nag-shutdown yung buong Washington DC, yung kanilang capital area for their hearing, tapos tuloy-tuloy na sila, tapos nag-inaugurate na sila. Okay. So no evidence. So ngayon, so after that, balik na si Trump, alis na si Trump, papuntang Florida, dun sa kanyang bahay, Mar-a-Lago, yung kanyang parang resort doon, di ba? Malaking bayan. Pag-usapan rin natin yan mamaya kung ano yung Mar-a-Lago. Medyo may historical significance yan. Pero so sila Biden yan. So napoklama na daw si Biden, umupo na siya, nag-sign na siya ng mga executive order na napakarami. 40 daw in the first 10 days or something. The most ever in any sitting president. Nag-sign siya ng mga ganun daw. Okay? So, pero yung iba doon, anyway. So, yun po ang nangyari. So, but today, just today, na-acquit po si Trump. Right? So,
Inumpisahan po nilang impeachment ulit.
proceedings.
Proceedings.
Sorry.
Di ba na-impeach, dinubukan nilang impeach si Trump last year.
Last year.
Di umubra na acquit siya
This is on Ukraine, di ba?
on Ukraine. Tapos ngayon, umalis na si Trump, pumunta na sa Mar-a-Lago, sumumpa na si Biden bilang presidente ng Amerika. Gumalaw na naman yung Kongreso para impeach ulit si Trump. Hindi na siya presidente pero ini-impeach pa rin nila.
Right.
Gusto nilang mag-guilty si Trump para daw sa susunod na halalan, hindi na makakatakbo si Trump. Yun ang talagang pinupuntirya nila.
Yun ang
To
gusto nila
really
mangyari.
kill him politically, because he's too much of a political force.
They're very afraid kahit nakaupo na sila, whether you believe na nag-fraud o hindi yung election, sila na yung umuupo dun eh. Pero takot na takot pa rin sila kay President.
Right.
So he was acquitted. Na expected naman na ma-acquit siya. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya impeached. Pero yung kaso po rests on the fact ano yung kaso nilang sinampan nila kay Trump ay siya po ang nag-incite. Ang tawag niyan, parang siya yung nag-udyok sa mga kasama mag-riot dyan sa Capitol.
Sugurin
yung Capitol at manggulo at sirain at gano'n. So, yan po ang kaso nila. So ngayon, we will show you sa iReport by Greg Kelly of Newsmax, summarizing the whole thing. Pero ito right before yung voting. So papakita niya yung mga kaso at may pinakita siya mga video na pinakita ng mga lawyer ni Trump. Nandun doon na you won't see on any mainstream media. Pero dito makikita niyo. Panoorin po natin.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
You got to be ready to throw a punch. You have to be ready to throw a punch.
Donald Trump, I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
That I thought he should have punched him in the face.
Feel like punching him.
I'd like to take him behind the gym if I were in high school. If we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
Take him out now.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Please, get up in the face of some Congress people.
People will do what they do.
I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
We're going to go in there, we're going to...
Well, this is just a warning to you Trumpers. Be careful. Walk lightly. And for those of you who are soldiers, make them pay.
If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
And there's more. I promise to fight every single day. One, I'm a fighter and I'm relentless. But I'm a fighter and I'm relentless. A fighter and I'm relentless. I will fight like hell.
But the way I see it now is that we pick ourselves up and we fight back. That's what I think it's all about. We stand up and we fight back. We do not back down. We do not compromise. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. You can either lie down, you can whimper, you can pull up in a ball, you can decide to move to Canada, or you can stand your ground and fight back. And that's what it's about. We do not turning this country over to what Donald Trump has sold. We are just not.
Ito po yung portion na pinapakita namin sa inyo na ito mga taong narinig nyo, no? Kung ano-ano sinasabi. Yung isa sabi, kailangan lagyan ng bala, barilin na itong si Trump. Yung iba, sugurin nyo, sino ba nagsasabing sabi ni Cuomo, who said that rallies have to be peaceful, no? Where does it say that rallies have to be peaceful? Yung mga iba, fight, tapos sabi susuntukin na daw si Trump. Very, very violent and incendiary yung kanilang mga sinasabi. This was during the time na right before the elections, during the elections. Ito po ang kanilang mga sinasabi. Kanya po lang dadagdagan and we will hear a little bit more.
Yeah,
you know?
yung ano po, yung tao dyan na nagrepresenta niya yung video niya, yung lawyer ni Trump. One of the lawyers of Trump. He's presenting his evidence.
These are the videos of
na kinolekta nila. So, tuloy natin.
Look, people are upset and they're right to be upset. Now we can whimper, we can whine, or we can fight back. Me, I'm here to fight back. I'm here to fight back because we will not forget. We do not want to forget. We will use that vision. Fight harder, we fight tougher, and we fight more passionately than ever. We still have a fight on our hands. Fight hard for the changes Americans are demanding. Get in the fight. To winning the fight. Fighting. He's fighting. We'll use every tool possible to fight for this change. We'll fight to fighting hard, serious about.
So that was just a collection of videos yung nakita po natin yung babaeng to is Elizabeth Warren. She was one of the leaders of the Democrat Party. Pinapakita yung edit po, puro fight ang sinasabi niya kasi yun ang kaso ng mga prosecution lawyers against Trump. Na sinasabi niya, tamo, sabi ni Trump, let's fight for our cause. Yan daw ang nag-udyok, yan daw ang kasalanan ni Trump. So pinapakita nila, kayo rin lahat. Sabi niyo rin dati. But let us present another video. This is from Newsmax. Are we ready with it? Greg Kelly. Not yet? Okay. So we're still downloading it. It was just presenting their case or defense case.
Kasi ang paratang ng mga Democrats dito sa impeachment case, nung daw nag-i-speech si Trump sa mga 1 milyon na mga
dun sa Washington
supporters dito sa Washington, mga halos 2 kilometro ang layo dun sa Capitol. Nag-speech. Ang sinasabi ng ang paratang ng mga Democrats, ang sinasabi daw ni Trump, pumunta tayo sa Capitol, sa Kongreso at sugurin natin doon, no? At kung parang to do violence in Congress habang nagkakaroon ng deliberations. Unang-una, papakita natin sa inyo na hindi naman yun ang sinabi niya. Ang sinabi niya, we can go to the Congress and show our protest peacefully. Sabi niya.
Patriotically and peacefully.
Patriotically and peacefully. We can march so that the congressmen will know how the people of America feel. No? Yun ang sinabi. Hindi na sinabing sugurin at gumawa ng pagmaninira o itigil ang deliberations. Wala po siyang ganyan sinabi. Kanya, itong paratang nila, yung lawyer ni Trump, ang ginawa niya, kinuha niya lahat ng mga videos nung dati nito mga Democrats. Pinakita niya na itong mga taong to, sila ang ganyan. Sila ang mga violent. Sila ang nagtutulak ng violence laban kay Trump. No? Pero si Trump, siya na yung dinaya, siya pa yung very peaceful. Pakita natin na galit tayo, pero peacefully and patriotically. Walang violence. This is what is going to be shown.
So we have another video. Ito yung kay Greg Kelly naman. Show niya sa Newsmax. So I think he will present it mas buo para may makita po na.
The impeachment trial that never should have started is not over, but at least it's getting good for our side because, boy, oh boy, they are calling out the hypocrisy. Some videos have been shown, and these videos, oh boy, they are sweet. They are so well done. You know, all week long, Democrats have been showing videos themselves. Look at Donald Trump saying this. Oh, wasn't it horrible? Not showing it to you in context and not revealing that they do the same things themselves, okay? Today was that day. The video presentation, primarily a day of video presentation by President Trump's lawyers. Hey, Dan Scavino is awesome. Very, very talented man. He put together a lot of these videos. He was the social media coordinator in the White House for Donald Trump. He's been working for Donald Trump for years. Anyway, a lot of the videos you're about to see, again, presented before the U.S. Senate or the Joint House or whatever the hell it is. And let's take a look at Exhibit 1.
Donald Trump committed a massive crime against our Constitution and our people, and the worst violation of the presidential oath of office in the history of the United States of America.
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
by telling the mob that their election had been stolen from them. I have an objection because 10 of the 29 electoral votes cast by Florida were cast by electors not lawfully certified. Even then, after that vicious attack, he continued to spread the big lie.
I think it's also critical to understand you can run the best campaign and you can have the election stolen from you.
This was months of cultivating a base of people who were violent. Praising that violence.
And everyone beware. They're not going to let up, and they should not.
And he still gave that marching orders and, quote, fight like hell.
Democrats are going to fight like hell.
We're going to fight like hell.
We'll fight like hell.
We'll fight like hell.
But can you imagine telling your supporters that the only way you could possibly lose is if an American election was rigged and stolen from you?
And you can have the election stolen from you.
And ask yourself whether you've ever seen anyone at any level of government make the same claim about their own election.
And you can have the election stolen from you.
That in the months the president made these statements, people listened. Armed supporters surrounded election officials' homes. The Secretary of State.
They were shouting threats, to us to kill us. We cannot go outside now. It's become so dangerous for us.
When he saw firsthand the violence that his conduct was creating,
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
he didn't condemn the violence, incited it further.
They're not going to let up, and they should not.
Great stuff, right? Great stuff. And the turnaround, I mean, they're actually using some of those lawyers who were making their case yesterday. They're including that in the video that the defense is putting forward. Great stuff. Hypocrisy is totally exposed. There's more.
I am not showing you this video as some excuse for Mr. Trump's speech. This is not whataboutism. I am showing you this to make the point that all political speech must be protected.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
You got to be ready to throw a punch. You have to be ready to throw a punch.
Donald Trump, I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
That I thought he should have punched him in the face.
Feel like punching him.
I'd like to take him behind the gym if I were in high school. If we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
No, I wish we were in high school. I could take him behind the gym.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
Take him out now.
Okay. When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Please, get up in the face of some Congress people.
People will do what they do.
I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
We're going to go in there, we're going to... This is just a warning to you Trumpers. Be careful. Walk lightly. And for those of you who are soldiers, make them pay.
If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
Again, I did not show you their robust speech to excuse or balance out the speech of my client, for I need not. I showed you the video because in this political forum, all robust speech should be protected, and it should be protected evenly for all of us.
By the way, that's Philadelphia lawyer Michael van der Veen, and he was brilliant today. Common sense guy from outside the Beltway, and just magnificent. He led. We heard from Mr. Castro as well. He did an effective job, but a couple more videos. What do you say? We got time. Hit it.
And did you tone down the rhetoric last summer when all of this was happening? Did you condemn the rioters? Or did you stand with Nancy Pelosi, who said, people are going to do what they're going to do?
This is a movement, I'm telling you. They're not going to stop. And everyone beware, because they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after.
And please, show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
It was a violent night in St. Louis. They shot and killed David in cold blood.
Destroying property which can be replaced is not violent.
This is an apartment complex on fire.
And it just collapsed. Their building just collapsed.
I have nowhere to go now. These people did this for no reason.
This is just a snapshot of some of the damage that people will be waking up to.
Going up, but police clearly...
I'm proud of New York, and I'm proud of the protests.
There is damage everywhere you look. Honestly, it looks like a war zone.
Heartwarming to see so many people turn out peacefully.
They keep doing it day after day after day. Our country is a nation of protests. The Patriots were protesters.
St. John's Church is on fire.
Do you disavow the violence from Antifa?
That's a myth.
I hope someone burns down your whole precinct with all y'all inside.
It is not, generally speaking, unruly.
And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
They're not going to let up, and they should not.
You'll see that's Mr. Schoen, by the way, also great job. Some of it repetitive. We saw some of the same images earlier. We see them again, but they're really driving home the message. I think a real judge, a real proceeding, they would have called it all to a halt and said case dismissed. But this is a political show, so wasn't that easy. All right, I want to skip down to Charlottesville. We actually have been pointing this out for months, but there are people who don't watch Newsmax who don't know that the media, Democrats, a huge chunk of our culture, and Joe Biden himself have been continually lying about Charlottesville, deliberately misleading what the president said about that horrible situation that day in the summer of 2017. Joe Biden based his entire campaign on a lie, and you're about to see that lie meticulously revealed.
The Charlottesville lie. Very fine people on both sides, except that isn't all he said. And they knew it then, and they know it now. Watch this.
But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name. Robert E. Lee are not the same. Well, no, George Washington was a slave owner. Was George Washington a slave owner? So will George Washington now lose his status? Are we going to take down, excuse me, are we going to take down statues to George Washington? How about Thomas Jefferson? What do you think of Thomas Jefferson? You like him? I do love Okay, Thomas good. Jefferson. Are we going to take down the statue? Because he was a major slave owner. Now we're going to take down his statue. So you know what? It's fine. You're changing history. You're changing about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay? And the press has treated them absolutely unfairly. Now, in the other group also, you had some fine people, but you also had troublemakers, and you see them come with the black outfits and with the helmets and with the baseball bats. You had a lot of bad people in the other group too.
Treated unfairly, sir. I'm sorry, I just didn't understand what you were saying. You were saying the press has treated white nationalists unfairly?
No,
I just didn't understand what you were saying.
No. There were people in that rally, and I looked the night before. If you look, there were people protesting very quietly. the taking down of the statue of Robert E. Lee. I'm sure in that group there were some bad ones. The following day, it looked like they had some rough, bad people, neo-Nazis, white nationalists, whatever you want to call them. But you had a lot of people in that group that were there to innocently protest and very legally protest because, you know, I don't know if you know, they had a permit. The other group didn't have a permit. So I only tell you this. There are two sides to a story. I thought what took place was a horrible moment for our country, a horrible moment. But there are two sides to the country. Does anybody have a final? Does anybody have? You have an infrastructure.
What makes you think? This might be today the first time the news networks played those full remarks in their context.
It's true. You can watch NBC News for years, 2 years, and you'll never see what you just saw. Now, I played it last night, actually, because I can't emphasize it enough. Joe Biden continues to tell the lie that that moment when Donald Trump said what he said, that's when he knew that he had to save this country and run for president. I couldn't, in my position on the Greg Kelly Report Show on Newsmax, ever mislead you, the viewer, by taking something out of context that anybody said the way Joe Biden has done to this president. I would never do that, I promise you. And if I do, I'll be sure to correct the record immediately. Okay, fair enough? Anyway, we're going to wrap this up with, my congressman again, Jerry Nadler. He said something about impeachment back in the 90s, and Donald Trump's lawyers used him as a prime example of the hypocrisy.
I leave you with the wise words of Congressman Jerry Nadler.
The effect of impeachment is to overturn the popular will of the voters. We must not overturn an election and remove a president from office, except to defend our system of government or our constitutional liberties against a dire threat. And we must not do so without an overwhelming consensus of the American people. There must never be a narrowly voted impeachment or an impeachment supported by one of our major political parties and opposed by the other. Such an impeachment will produce the divisiveness and bitterness in our politics for years to come and will call into question the very legitimacy of our political institutions. And they overwhelmingly oppose impeaching him. They elected President Clinton. They still support him. We have no right to overturn the considered judgment of the American people. Mr. Speaker, the case against the president has not been made. There is far from sufficient evidence to support the allegations, and the allegations, even if proven true, do not rise to the level of impeachable offenses. Mr. Speaker, this is clearly a partisan railroad job. The same people who today tell us we must impeach the president for lying under oath, almost to a person voted last year to re-elect the speaker who had just admitted lying to Congress in an official proceeding. The American people are watching, and they will not forget. You may have the votes, you may have the muscle, but you do not have the legitimacy of a national consensus or of a constitutional imperative. This partisan coup d'etat will go down in infamy in the history of this nation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield back the balance of my time.
And they pretty much wrap things up, although I think they're taking questions now. That was, 1999, late 98? Jerry Nadler was right then, and if he said the same thing now, he'd be correct all over again. This is a great big joke. We already know the results. Joe Biden could have avoided all of this. Remember, he said he wanted to unify us. I asked him, call it off, but he didn't. He wanted it to go forward because they want to cancel Donald Trump, and that is impossible. By the way, what was Joe Biden doing today? It's kind of embarrassing. They set up a love lawn on the White House. Take a look at this. This is not Photoshop. These are real signs. Take it. Kindness, healing, compassion. This is all in honor of that phony baloney holiday, which, forgive me, I hate. I think it was made up by Hallmark, right? Right? I mean, Valentine's Day, it's Sunday. What is this stuff all about? Gets even sappier when Joe and Jill walk out to, I don't know, have a little time on the love lawn. Okay. It's as sad as it looks, in my opinion. The music is courtesy of us. When I saw this come down today, I went wild on Twitter. You want to hear some? I think they're pretty good. Does Joe know he's president? Looks like he wants to be Cupid, man of love. Toughen up, Joe! That wasn't that good. Oh, this is pretty good. That corny love stunt was really a hit. That actually was pretty weak, too. Here we go. Joe, please, our enemies are watching. Go inside. There she goes for that phony pet of the dog. I don't think she's seen that dog in 10 years. I don't know. I think this is all a little bit sickening, but it is what it is, right? We'll be right back.
You just watched Newsmax.
Kawawa naman po si Biden, no? Dahil parang linagay lang po siya dyan ng mga ibang mga tao. Ulianin na no? His dementia, no? So, well, he will be the butt of jokes in the next few months, weeks, because he's been already doing so many mistakes. But going back to the impeachment, that was the day before the actual voting. And there was voting yesterday. Yes. And and Trump was acquitted again. Because they really cannot. It was obvious that they were trying to railroad this impeachment in the same way they tried to railroad the other one, but they just cannot. Mga ibang, siyempre mga kongresista, even if they, yung kanilang conscience hindi nila kakayanin labanan, no? At pero yung mga Democrats, kasi they're actually terrified. They're terrified of Trump as a political force. They saw what he can do. That was an original 75 million votes voted for him officially, and there was no question about the 75 million, and there was a huge amount of questions on the 82 million votes of Joe Biden. When you put together the 82 million and the 75 million of Trump, you will see that they are several millions surpassing the registered voter of the United States. Easily by about 7 or 8 million votes. Easily. So, kita nyo po, can you imagine? Maski nasabihin mo 75 na rin si 75 si Trump, 75 na rin si Biden, meron pa rin sobra na 7 million votes. Yung sinabi nilang bumoto para kay Biden. Sabihin mo ng equal. No? Hindi equal talagang linampaso siya ni Trump. And that's why takot na takot po sila. Baka tumakbo ulit the next election. At gusto nilang i-disqualify siya by another impeachment. But it didn't work out. And after the acquittal, President Trump from Mar-a-Lago issued a statement which we wanted you to babasahin dito ni Itos para makita nyo po yung kanyang official statement. This is the first time he came up with an official statement addressing the people. So, ito po ang kanyang statement.
Statement by Donald J. Trump, 45th President of the United States of America. I want to first thank my team of dedicated lawyers and others for their tireless work upholding justice and defending truth. My deepest thanks as well to all of the United States senators and members of Congress who stood proudly for the Constitution we all revere and for the sacred legal principles at the heart of our country. Our cherished constitutional republic was founded on the impartial rule of law and the indispensable safeguard for our liberties, our rights, and our freedom. It is a sad commentary on our times that one political party in America is given a free pass to denigrate the rule of law, defame law enforcement, cheer mobs, excuse rioters, and transform justice into a tool of political vengeance, and persecute, blacklist, cancel, and suppress all people and viewpoints with whom or which they disagree. I always have and always will be a champion for the unwavering rule of law. The heroes of law enforcement and the right of Americans to peacefully and honorably debate the issues of the day without malice and without hate. This has been yet another phase of the greatest witch hunt in the history of our country. No president has ever gone through anything like it. And it continues because our opponents cannot forget the almost 75 million people, the highest number ever for a sitting president, who voted for us just a few short months ago. I also want to convey my gratitude to the millions of decent, hardworking, law-abiding, God and country-loving citizens who have bravely supported these important principles in these very difficult and challenging times. Our historic and patriotic and beautiful movement to make America great again has only just begun. In the months ahead, I have much to share with you, and I look forward to continuing our incredible journey together to achieve American greatness for all our people. There has never been anything like it. We have so much work ahead of us, and soon we will emerge with a vision for a bright, radiant, and limitless American future. Together, there is nothing we cannot accomplish. We remain one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God, and it is our responsibility to preserve this magnificent inheritance for our children and for generations of Americans to come. May God bless all of you, and may God forever bless the United States of America.
Yan po yung statement ni Donald Trump right after he was acquitted in Congress of this impeachment move. I want to go back and highlight one particular area, one particular statement that he had made, and which has caught the attention of many, many supporters of Donald Trump.
What part?
Can you bring it down?
Towards the end. Towards the end.
Oh, and there.
Our historic. How we will announce.
Ito.
I have much to share with you in the month.
Yeah.
Our historic and patriotic and beautiful movement in America has just begun.
Has just begun. In the months ahead, he says, I have much to share with you, and I look forward to continuing our incredible journey together to achieve American greatness for all of our people. There has never been anything like it. I have so much work ahead of us. We have so much work ahead of us. And soon we will emerge. And soon we will emerge with a vision for a bright, radiant, and limitless American future. Yan pong segment na yon ay ito po ang sa palagay po ng marami ang sinasabi, ito po yung talagang very important message niya sa mamamayan sa Amerika. At sa marami pong nakikinig sa kanya sa buong mundo. Ang sinasabi niya, very soon, there's so much work to be done by him, not by him, but by them, no? At tinatrabaho niya. And so much for work for the months ahead. Hindi natin alam kung ano yung, bakit months ahead ang sinasabi niya. Bakit hindi niya sinasabi yung eleksyon na darating sa 2022 na mga midterm election? Ba't hindi niya sinasabi yung darating na election sa 2024? Right. Why is he only talking of months ahead and so much? And then he is still saying that we will continue our journey together. He's telling the people of the movement, the 75 million people who supported him, he's telling them, we will continue our journey together of the same vision and direction. Malalim po yung sinasabi niya. Kasi hanggang ngayon po sa Amerika, marami pong question mark na hahalata ng tao. Right. At ang sinasabi po ng iba, hindi pa kompletong pinayagan umupo si President Biden. Dahil meron mga parang bitin na operations dito sa White House na hindi regular. Kung titignan niyo po pati yung kanyang presidential spokesman, halos lahat ng masasagutin niyang tanong sa mga reporters is I will get back to you on that, or I will circle back to you on that. In other words, hindi niya makuhanan ng official statement ang kanyang presidente. Bakit? Kasi po, ang presidente, palagay ko, hindi makabigay ng official statement pa hinggil dito sa mga issues na itinatanong sa kanila ng media. Because he probably is not yet allowed. Why is this the case? As you know, out of all the 22 cases, the election fraud cases that have been filed in different states in the United States of America, Trump has won already 15 so far to date. Yung mga ibang kaso po are still ongoing. Pero yung out of the 22 sa ibang mga states, 15 na po ang pinanalo niya.
Hindi nare-report to
Hindi nare-report ng mainstream media po. Anong ibig sabihin nanalo siya? Nanalo siya dito sa presentasyon na dinaya siya. Okay? Ngayon, isipin natin, ano ngayon ang mangyayari? Kada court, ganyan po yan. No? Of course, pwede nilang i-appeal yan. I-appeal nila sa Korte Suprema, sa Federal Supreme Court. Dito sa Federal Supreme Court, ito yung kataas-taasan hukuman. Si Sidney Powell at sila Lindell at kung sino pang mga abogado, lahat ng kaso nila na isinampa ngayon sa Supreme Court, 5 po yung kaso nila na kasalukuyan pinag-aaralan ng kataas-taasan hukuman ng Amerika. Yung tinatawag nilang SCOTUS, Supreme Court of the United States. Now, I have a feeling, and people are also of the same opinion, that the military in the US had probably requested that despite the entry of Biden into the office, they are requesting for the Supreme Court to finally make a judgment as to whether there was cheating or not, or whether the amount of cheating was so voluminous and widespread that it would change the results of the election. Yun po ang inihintay ng military. Bakit sabihin natin military? Wala naman silang lugar dyan. Alam nyo po, pag ang election, ganyan, maski alam ng military may dayaan, hindi sila involved because this is a civilian activity. And everybody has a recourse to file the cases in the courts. Now, however, the Supreme Court can look at the case and probably ask the military to be around to help implement whatever decision they might make on the very, very critical issue. Kasi pag sinabi ng Supreme Court, tama, walang dayaan, no? Kinakailangan ang militar nandyan agad para siguraduhin na andyan si Biden. At siya na ang magiging talagang presidente. Ngayon, kung sabihin ng Supreme Court, may malawak palang dayaan. At ang nanalo pala ay hindi si Biden, kundi si Trump. Yun ang kailangan ma-enforce. Hindi pwede lang magdadadakdak ang Supreme Court at walang mag-enforce. You need the military to enforce it. That's why it's still on the side. That's why there are certain things right now going on in the White House that are a little abnormal and strange. Like you never saw, so far, anyway, baka mangyari dito the next day. So far, hindi po natin nakikita si President Biden sumasakay sa Air Force One, yung eroplano po ng presidente ng Amerika. Yung mga ginagamit ng eroplano, private jet to go to one place to another. Pero yung Air Force One po, hindi niya ginagamit. Bakit po? Kala natin presidente na siya. Hindi natin po alam yan. Ito po yung isa pang nangyayari kung bakit nandyan siguro ang military. Kasi, napatunayan na sa ibang bansa, katulad po ng Italy, yung presidente ng Italy, nakipagkontsaba dito sa mga tiga-Amerika na yung mga Democrats para magamit yung satellite ng Italy called Leonardo para gamitin, papadala ng mga datos ng mga eleksyon ng Dominion, tapos idadagdag bawas doon sa Italy, tapos yung resulta nun, para mahirap daw habulin o masundan, pinadala sa Germany. Alam po ng German government Pinapadala po nila sa Switzerland, alam po ng Swiss government, bago ibalik sa mga Amerikano para lumabas dito sa kanilang mga computer na resulta ng eleksyon. Paano natin na alam yun sa Italy? Kasi po, na-imbestiga yung Italy at nagsalita na yung mismong nandun sa namamahala ng satellite, no? At nadala sa Korte Suprema ng Italy at nagumawa na ng confession, affidavit, yung tao dun sa Italy na namamahala ng satellite at ang sinabi niya, yung ambassador, US Ambassador of Italy, together with 2 CIA operatives and 2 MI6 operatives. MI6 po is British Intelligence. Sila daw ang nagko-coordinate sa kanya tungkol dito sa operation na ito. Napalitan ng mga boto na galing kay Trump at ilipat kay Biden. Yun ang affidavit itong nasa Italy at dahil dito pati yung presidente ng Italy ay nag-resign. Ano po ba? Why am I saying this? The reason I'm saying this is the military in the US now has reason to intervene because the US sovereignty has been attacked via this conspiracy of cheating together with Dominion and the US politicians. Kasama na po ang foreign. That means ang kanilang saligang batas na ang tinamaan dito. Na bawal makialam ang anuman gobyerno, anuman bansa sa isang eleksyon. Therefore, the one to react to this has to be the US military. And now they have a role. That's why so far, medyo hindi pa sigurado sitwasyon. That is just my opinion po.
Speculation lang po
Speculation
yan,
lang
based
po.
on everything, the information.
When you
that
put it together, ito po ang hindi po tayo nakakasiguro. Baka naman way off ito, hindi natin alam. Baka naman ang sitwasyon tuloy-tuloy na si Biden at kanya sila nadadapa-dapang ganito ay napakatanga lang nila talaga, di ba po? No? Pero ganito po ang sitwasyon. Tsaka pag linagay mo pati etong speech ni Trump, etong huling-huli niyang speech na sinasabi na in a few months we will see each other again, although in a different form. Mabigat po yan. At hindi siya hanggang ngayon nagko-concede.
Nakakapagtataka yun.
Talagang hindi siya magko-concede. Kaya titignan po natin sa darating na the next few weeks, the next couple of months, we'll see what will happen.
Because I wanted to add, tama everything po nangyayari ngayon around supposed administration, new administration ng Biden, parang hindi regular na nangyayari. Maraming mga, bakit ang gulo nila, bakit wala silang parang intelligence briefings, bakit wala sila, nag-a-announce lang sila na ito gagawin niya. Siyempre tumutulong kay Biden yung media kasi kasama Pero, again, to emphasize, parang si Trump never recognized Biden as Trump never conceded and tuloy pa rin yung mga kaso for election fraud. Tapos yung lawyers na namamahala dun sa election fraud, si Powell, they're actively sending messages saying that we've been winning these things. Nalo kami sa mga court cases. Siyempre, hindi i-report yan ng mainstream media. Maalala nyo po, bago yung election, after the election, bago mag-January, parati nire-report ng mainstream media ay talo na po si Trump sa lahat ng kaso. Naalala nyo po yun. Ngayon, 15 out of the 22. I think there's another set of hearings on 19 next week. So pag nanalo pa sila doon, ibig sabihin, may grounds po na baka i-overturn yung resulta ng election, yung electoral college, and Trump might just be back in power, back as the President of the United States, as the legitimate president, and bubuking na lahat ng kaya. So, tignan po natin, kasi ang nangyayari ngayon hindi normal. Definitely hindi normal. And also, naaalala po natin na yung sinasabi ni Sidney Powell po, yung ebidensya po niya, nakukuha niya galing sa military. Kasi Sidney Powell used to be a lawyer for the military. So alam po niya yung galawan dyan. So but she filed the case of election fraud, pero yung ebidensya niya, military intelligence po. Mabigat po. So there has to be a process that they follow. And then when you put, pag sinasama niyo po lahat ng mga things that are happening, yung mga medyo malabo na nangyayari, medyo yung malabong announcement ni Biden, tapos yung mga hindi makasagot yung press secretary kung ano yung mga tanong ng mga reporter, hindi niya masagot na maayos. Sinasabi niya, teka muna, bukas, pabalikan kita dyan. Hindi ko masagot yan, i-refer na lang kita dito. Parang ang gulo. Wala silang organization. Bakit kaya? Tapos, siniscreen pa ngayon nila lahat ng question sa White House. Maalala po natin kay Trump, yung press corps sa White House, hindi naman siniscreen eh.
Walang screening.
Kahit sino, kahit iniinsulto na nila yung presidente, okay lang. Sagot ako. So, dun sila, lumalaban sila doon. Ngayon, ito, takot na takot sila kung ano yung mga tatanungin sa kanila. Bakit ganun? So, there are many things. And it seems nga na si Mitch McConnell, yung isang senador na, what do you call that, balimbing, kung saan yung malakas na koponan, doon siya. Sabi niya, acquitted si Trump, pero baka sampahan natin ng kaso yan as private citizen.
Sa lahat ng mga crime na ginawa niya, nung presidente daw siya. Kaya, ito pong hindi po nangyari sa buong kasaysayan ng Amerika ito. Tama po si Trump. At lahat ng pinupukpok sa kanya, hindi po nangyari. Wala pong katumbas. 2 beses siyang ini-impeach. Tapos dinaya siya ng ganitong kalaki. Tapos nagkaroon pa ng ibang bansa na kakonsyaba sa pandaraya sa kanya.
Smartmatic Dominion.
Oo. Hindi po ginawa yan sa ibang klase, ibang pangulo. Bakit? Bakit sila takot na takot sa kanya?
Saka considering, si Trump ngayon lang pumasok sa politics yan. Alam mo, ngayon lang. So yung how many years in politics si Trump? 4 years. Yung first term niya. How many years politics si Biden? 47. Tama na sila Nancy Pelosi, si Hillary Clinton. Over 100 years of experience in politics. Tapos takot na takot sila dito kay Trump.
Pero itong madalas nating sinasabi, Kanya natin pinag-uusapan to dahil alam natin kung anong mangyari sa Amerika may impact sa atin, di ba, Itos?
Right.
Ngayon, kanina, sinasabi mo sa akin na sa palagay mo, nag-uusap talaga si Trump, si President Xi ng China, at si President Putin. Sekreto. They are probably in communication with each other. At palagay ko, that is very, very possible. Hindi po ba? No?
Maalala po natin kasi, you have to look at ano yung ginawa ni Trump right after he won the election. In 2016, inaugurated 2017. Agad-agad, nag-meeting siya with Xi and Putin and said, we will work together. Alala niyo po before that with Obama, parang kalaban nila Russia and China. Tapos maggegera na. Remember? Kaya nung na-elect po si President Duterte, tapos si Obama kausap niya, minura daw niya si Obama. Yung gusto kasi mangyari ni Obama, maalala niyo, sinasabi parati ni Chairman and on shows, that they were already preparing for war with China, with Russia. Under Obama po, lumabas yung ISIS. Lumakas yung ISIS. So nagkakagulo dyan sa Middle East. Pagpasok ni Trump, together with Putin and Xi's cooperation, wala na ISIS. Wala kayong narinig na ISIS na tapos ng boxing. Trump also made overtures of peace with North Korea. Okay? So right away po, yung threat ng war, bumaba. Alis. Siyempre, yung pagsasalita ni Trump and all. So, and in many ways, walang kahit nag-trade war sila ni Xi, with, meaning yung China, kasi nag-negotiate sila ng bagong trade deal. Trump would always praise China's achievements. Sabi na niya, kailangan patas tayo. Tapos wala siyang laban kay Putin. Okay? So,
ang sabi niya ito, di ba? That every leader must be allowed to do things for his people. For the development of his people. What is he saying there? That every nation is sovereign. At walang pakailaman. Ang role ni Trump, pagandahin ang buhay ng mga Amerikano. Ang role ni Xi Jinping, pagandahin ang buhay ng mga China. No? At in effect, sinasabi, meron pa siyang ibang dinagdag pala, naalala ko si Trump. Pinangako niya that during his term, there will be no regime changes. Hindi siya gagalaw, hindi niya gagamitin ng CIA para magpalit ng mga presidente. Hindi siya, meron mga ibang tao gustong gawin yan. Pero siya, as president, gagawa siya, hindi siya, kasi kailangan palagi, parang approval ng presidente yan. No? Hindi siya gagalaw para matanggal ang kung sino man presidente na hindi sumasang-ayon sa Amerika.
Regime change policy.
Regime change policy.
Yeah. Which was the policy of Bush, Clinton, Obama.
At ginagamit nila ito si George Soros. Ngayon, tatandaan niyo po, dito kay President Duterte, nung nalaman ni Duterte na ganito ang posisyon ni Obama, di ba? Tandaan niyo kasi nung naging presidente si Duterte, it was about 6 more months before November election na pumasok si Trump. So dito sa 6 months na ito, ang nakausap niya si Obama. At sinabi sa kanya ni Obama, kailangan sundan mo kami, kung hindi ka namin tutulungan. And Duterte said, hindi bale, pupunta ako sa China at sa Russia para tulungan nila ako. At bigay nila sa akin yung mga kinakailangan ko. Okay, yun ang paratang ni kasi that's why as early as October, si Duterte pumunta sa China para pag-usapan yung tulong na bibigay ng China. Wala pang eleksyon sa Amerika.
Si Trump.
At si Trump tumatakbo pa lang at ang pustahan mananalo si Hillary Clinton at matatalo si Trump. Kasi ang may hawak kay Hillary Clinton, itong mga kabal, itong mga deep state sa Amerika. Sila ang may hawak. Sila ang mga oligarko ng Amerika. So, nung pumunta si Duterte sa China at pagbalik niya, meron siyang dalang tulong at commitment coming from China. Mga armas at nahalal na presidente si Trump. Nakaramdam ba kayo na nagalit si Trump sa Pilipinas dahil humingi ng tulong ang Pilipinas sa China? Wala po tayong naramdaman yan. Ang bumabanat kay Duterte ay hindi si Trump. Ang bumabanat sa kanya yung mga ibang CIA tsaka si George Soros.
Tsaka yung media.
Tsaka yung media.
Kasi katulong nila yun.
Pero si Trump mismo wala. Tapos pumunta si Duterte sa Russia. Humingi din ng tulong sa Russia. At binigyan din tayo ng armas ng Russia. Katumbas yung armas na binibigay ng China. Sabi nila, hindi naman talagang bigayan, binibili natin. Pero siguro malaking discount. Diba po? Okay, ito mga armas na ang tumutulong sa atin. Anong sinasabi ni Trump? Sinabi ba ni Trump, huwag kayo kukuha sa Russia at sa China, kung hindi magkagalit na tayo? Di po. Ang ginawa ni Trump, nagpadala din siya ng mga armas sa Pilipinas para hindi lumabas na China at Russia lang ang tumutulong sa Pilipinas. That's why I am etong sinabi mo kanina, Titos, na palagay mo, hindi talagang magkalaban si Putin, si Trump, tsaka si Jinping.
Kasi
diba?
yun yung basis yan ng discussion kami kanina, Chairman, was if you know po yung kalaban ni Trump, si Trump yung pinakamaingay against yung tinatawag natin na deep state.
Deep state.
Yun ang sinasabi niya, kailangan malalim yung mga ugat ng mga loko-lokong taong to. Mga sila Soros, yung mga ganon. So, in the beginning, Trump has said na malawak yung kanilang ginagawa, malawak yung kanilang mga galamay, pati election. Na-discuss na po natin yung Blackstone Group, right? Was it the Blackstone Group? Yeah. BlackRock Group. Na siya yung mismong kumpanya ng mga bankero na lahat ng bansa kasama sila, nag-i-invest sila, nagpapautang. So sabi ni Trump, ito yung deep state. Ngayon, sabi ko, the way Xi Jinping and Putin have been coming out with statements and dealing with Trump, sila rin po kasi sa mga bansa nila, may mga deep state rin. Parang tayo dito, may mga traidor sa bayan. May mga, so, si Xi Jinping is also dealing with his own deep state. Si Putin is also dealing with the people in his government na traidor, saka yung mga maduming mga oligarko sa mga bansa nila. So, and the way they make a statement, and the way yung mga nangyayaring ngayon around the world, it seems like, sabi ko kay Chairman, parang kakampi sila. Silang mga leader ng mga bansang to against this deep state. Tsaka alam nila, lalo na si Putin, siguro na rin si Xi, no? Alam nila ang totoong nangyayari sa US. Kasi wala silang ginagawang hakbang, o wala silang ginagawang mga statements against Trump, against, yung nangyayari sa US. So, palagay ko lang po, ito yung haka ko na itong mga leaders, pati si Modi, pati yung mga leader ng Saudi Arabia na pinuntahan ni Trump, lahat sila alam nila kung ano yung kailangan gawin. Mahirap kasi hugahin mo yung drain ng swamp nga. So, yan ang palagay lang natin na parang palagay ko nag-uusap sila or meron silang agreement.
Kasi if you will allow your imagination a little bit more broaden, no? Bakit si US lang ba ang may deep state? Tsaka kung meron deep state dyan sa US, no? Hindi ba nila kayang mangdemonyo din dito sa China? Yung level ng mga nasa China. Na pag-usapan nila yung si Xi, i-ano natin yan, tanggalin natin yan o patayin natin yan. Tapos kayo, let us work together so that we will run the world. Di ba nila kayang gapangin yung mga ibang opisyal sa Russia? Let us work together so that we will run the world. Pwede po yan eh. No? Hindi po malayo yan. Maski anong bansa, meron greed for power and for wealth. May mga taong ganyan. Maski na gaano kalakas pa yung presidente mo, meron pa rin mga ganyang klaseng tao. Dito lang sa Pilipinas Di ba? Pag na tayong lumayo, alam natin na may mga demonyo dito hanggang doon sa tabi ng presidente. No? Alam natin na pag nagkaroon ng panahon, agad-agad ibabagsak nila si Duterte. Kasi ang kanilang pagkaganid sa pera at sa poder.
Nakakontrol yan kasi ang Pilipinas po, lalo na yung sinasabi natin, alala ko po nung time ni LaRouche. Sabi po niya, yung Pilipinas binigay, parang tinurn over natin sa Wall Street. Sabihin, mga pribadong kumpanya nang magmimiyari na. Dati pa to 20 years ago. Kasi nung pumasok po si Corazon Aquino, nag-switch po yung ating policies. Lahat naging globalization, privatization, lahat. So we turned over everything to these private entities, these businessmen, who have partners with foreign companies. Tapos tuloy-tuloy. So tuloy-tuloy parang sinira yung abilidad ng bansa to deal with this. And we find ourselves here with COVID and all of that. Parang hindi tayo makagalaw. Tapos kuhang-kuha, kunyari si Duque, kung anong sabihin ng mga boss niya sa mga pharmaceutical tsaka sa WHO, yan ang gagawin niya. Wala siyang pakialam na tayo lang yung buong bansa na may face shield, na kailangan may face shield sa mukha, na wala namang pruweba. Wala siyang pakialam sa mga datos na sabi na ng CDC na 99% recovery. Wala siyang pakialam na binawi na nila yung kanilang negative advice against hydrochloroquine and azithromycin. Hydroxychloroquine and azithromycin as early treatment. Wala siyang pakialam doon. Hindi natin papag-usapan yun. Papag-usapan nila, bakuna. Yan ang utos sa kanya. So, the Philippines, everything, yung pinapaglaban po natin, yung Article 12, is electricity, water, food, lahat na, telecoms, and the health. Lahat yan, wala na tayong control as government. The private companies control us, and their partners have businesses on Wall Street na tinitrade. So,
yan po tawag natin kasi yung pag-enter, tawag natin ngayon oligarko. Iba po yan dito sa mga basta-basta mayayaman. Marami pong mayayaman dito na medyo diretso naman ng kanilang negosyo. No? Pero itong mga oligarko, ito yung mga mayayaman na binigyan ng negosyo ng mga kakuntsaba nila sa gobyerno para hawakan nila yung kuryente, yung tubig, telecom, at iba pa. No? Ito yung sinasabi ni Itos na pagpapalit ng sistemang ekonomiya at yung binigay na tayo sa mga dayuhan, no? Pribado. Ano pa ba yung ginawa nila? Well, we started off with privatization. Then we went into deregulation. Ibig sabihin, wala nang control sa gasolina, wala nang control sa kuryente, wala na, deregulated na yan. Kanya-kanya na yan. Tapos meron tayong decontrol or import liberalization. Buksan nyo yung mga wag nyo nang bigyan ng taripa para libreng papasok itong mga binebenta nila sa ibang bansa.
Yes.
Tapos yung industriya dito na nasisira dahil na bumabagsak dahil papapasok nila yung mga mas mura.
Steel,
no?
chemical.
Kaya wala tayong kakayanan sa ating industriya, pati na rin ngayon sa bigas. Tapos yung pang-apat po na binanatan tayo, yung tinatawag na devaluation. No? Sinigurado nila bababa ang halaga ng ating pera laban sa dolyar. No? Pag binababaan mo pa yun, ang nangyayari po, lumalaki ang utang mo kasi pag nag-devalue ka, kung dati 4 pesos to 1 at naging 50 pesos to 1, no? Ibig sabihin, yung babayaran mong $1, dati 4 na piso lang kailangan mo, pero ngayon 50 pesos lang kailangan mo. Kaya ang epekto po niya, nagbabalon yung foreign debt natin at ang utang. So, ito ang ginawa nilang paninira sa ating bansa at sa ating at gumagawa tayo po sana ng paraan para maibalik natin yan at kinakailangan natin ang tulong ng ating Pangulo. Pero para hindi tayo malihis, no? Sinasabi lang natin na ganito ang problema at ito yung nangyayari dahil palagay ko, pag etong si Biden ang pumasok, sigurado papahirapan niya ang Pilipinas eh. No? Bakit? Gugustuhin niya at ipipilit niya yung renewal of the Mutual Defense Treaty. Mag-e-expire na po yan eh. No? O expired na at meron na lang extension up to August yata. Mutual Defense Treaty. May pinag-agreean po dati nito. How many years ago? No? Na ang Amerika tsaka ang Pilipinas if somebody attacks the Philippines, kasama ang Amerika. If somebody attacks America, kasama ang Pilipinas. Pero sa totoo lang, ang sabi pa nga ng Amerika sa atin, pero yan sa South China Sea, hindi kasali yan. Hindi pag-a-attack yan. Dispute nyo lang yan sa bakuran ninyo eh. Territorial yan eh. At hindi uma-atake. Kanya hindi nyo kami pwedeng hingan ng tulong tungkol dyan. Ang gusto ni Duterte, huwag nang pairal yan. Pangalawa, ang gusto niya rin, huwag nang i-renew yung Visiting Forces Agreement. Yung Visiting Forces Agreement po ay isang pinagka-ayusan noon. Ito sila Ramos, sila Gloria. Para para makapasok dito ang mga militar na vapor at mga personnel ng Amerika at maglagay ng mga kung ano-ano. Nakaparking po yung kanilang mga submarines at mga destroyers dito sa ating tubig-katubigan. So lahat yan po merong missiles tsaka merong pong nuclear armed war vessels. Pag nagkaputukan po ang Amerika at nandito sila nakaparking at ang China, sino po mamamatay? Tayo po, di ba? At wala tayong parang magagawa. No? Ayaw ngayon ni Duterte, so far, di ko alam kung bibigay siya dito, na i-renew yung Visiting Forces Agreement na mag-expire na. Di ba po maganda na matanggal na yan? Pangatlo, itong EDCA, Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement. Ito kagagawa nito ni Noynoy, itong sirang ulong presidente natin dati. Ang ginawa niya, nagkipagpirmahan siya ng EDCA sa Amerika. Para ano? Yung EDCA, gusto sabihin, yung mga militar bases natin ng Philippine military bases will be the location of a U.S. military base inside the Philippine military base. For what? Hindi po nila sinasabi for what. Pero ang ating pong suspetsa, gagawin nilang missile silos. Gagawa po sila ng missile silos para sa kanilang mga nuclear weapons. Para from nasa loob, yung kanilang launching pads. Bakit nasa loob? Kasi po pag nasa labas, nakikita ng publiko at aangal ang publiko. Pero pag nasa loob, lalo na kung si Noynoy ang presidente mo o ganyan, katulad po ni Noynoy ang presidente, tahimik po at ibebenta po ang buhay ng mga mamamayang Pinoy. Pag nakalagay ka dito ng missile silos, di mo na matatanggal. Wala tayong kakayanan tanggalin yan. At hindi natin pwedeng gamitin ng military force laban sa military force ng Amerika. Tatawanan ka lang yan. Oy, tanggalin nyo yan. Titignan ka lang. Sige nga, pilitin mo akong tanggalin. Okay. These are the three things that are very critical dito sa atin. Hinggil dito. We do not want to be a target in case China and the US go to war with each other. We hope that it will not be. And we were confident that if it was Trump, we will be more confident with Trump than with Biden. Si Biden po, sira ulo niyan. No? Lamang lang ng konti sa pagkasira, palagay ko si Noynoy. No? Pero malabo po yung taong yan. At hindi natin kakabisan. Dati, nung sinasabi ko, nagkakampanya pa lang, pag si Biden ang naging presidente, siguro bibilang ka lang ng buwan. Baka maumpisahan ang gera sa Iran at sa North Korea. O ano pong nangyari? Nung kamakalawa lang, pinadala na niya ng warning ang Iran at ang North Korea. Pinadala niya ng statement, pero basically warning. Oy, ako na ang presidente ngayon, iba na ang ating patakaran ngayon. Lahat ng pinag-usapan nyo kay Trump, erase na yan. Hindi ko na susundin yan. Yan ang pahiwatig niya sa North Korea at sa Iran. Kanya pong natatakot tayo. At ayaw po natin. Si Trump po ayaw ng gera. Yung sinasabi niyang negosyo para sa kapakanan ng Amerika, dahil yun talaga ang dapat gawin ng isang presidente ng isang bansa. Para sa kapakanan ng tao. At palagay namin, ganyan din naman si Xi Jinping at ganyan din si Putin. Kaya, sabi ko, doon sinabi ni Itos, palagay na, nag-iusap-usap daw yung tatlo. Ay, sana. I hope God actually intervenes for them to be talking to each other.
Kasi pwedeng mangyari, imagine po, nag-uusap yung tatlo. Ang sinasabi ni Trump, huwag kayo matakot kasi may kailangan lang kaming ayusin dito sa US. So namin, pero lalabas rin. At hindi, imagine po, di nakakapag diba, ng puso.
Yeah.
Hindi kasi si Biden, kasi yung mga kasama niya, Obama, mga kasama niya, Clinton, mga kasama niya, yung Bush.
Mga war freaks po yan
Yun yung nanggigera ng mundo So, and sinabi na nila na baka may gera with pag pumasok, pag hindi nanalo si Trump. Actually, sinabi nga nila, pag kunyari nanalo si Hillary, gera na tayo. Kasi yun ang nila.
Direction
nila. Tsaka wala siyang yung gusto nila, globalization. Ang gusto po nila, sila Obama to at Clinton, at Biden now, na sunod-sunuran lang dito sa sunod-sunuran lang si Biden dito kay Obama and Clinton is one world government ang direction.
Okay.
So 8:37.
Yeah, it's 8:37. And I wanted to bring up this other topic. I said, ang maganda sana if these countries, the superpowers, start to work together. If they're working together, that means there is less and less chance for a world war. And there is less and less the chance of destruction of human lives. Hindi po ba? Last week was a very significant week for all of humanity. I say all. Dahil po, parang nagkataon, hindi natin alam kung coordinated sila o by chance. Nagkataon po na ang bansang China, ang bansang Amerika, at isa pang bansa na magugulat kayo, nagpadala ng raketa papuntang planet Mars, which is about 90 million miles away. Hindi po last week pala. 7 months ago. Right? Ngayon, padating na sila doon. Last week, nag-anunsyo na sila na parating na ang mga satellites doon sa Mars. Bakit sabay-sabay? Di po ba? Tapos sabi ko, this might be the way later on because we want to look at Mars as something that human beings can colonize. And they now have proof that there is water there. So if there is water, it can grow vegetation. And vegetation means oxygen. Carbon and oxygen. Yan po yung direksyon ng pag-iisip sa siyensya. Pero itong isa, nandyan yung perseverance ng Amerikano, nandyan yung sa China. And they're both looking for iba-ibang scientific Yung isa, ang bansang United Arab Emirates. UAE. Alam niyo po yung maliit na bansa dito sa sa Middle East. Of course, mayaman sila sa langis, no? United Arab Emirates. Pero yung mga tao doon, no? Nag-isip sila. May langis ka na, ano pang gagawin mo? Bakit kapag gusto mong mag-explore doon kung meron kang magagawa sa Mars? Di ba po? But their science brings them to that because they know the resources on this planet are not unlimited. No? Pwedeng maubos. No? At nandyan yung Mars. At kung kaya mo naman abutin, ba't hindi mo abutin? At kung kaya mong i-colonize, ba't hindi mo i-colonize? Pero the reason I wanted to mention this, United Arab Emirates. The United Arab Emirates space program is being led by a young lady. Babae po. Imagine, isipin nyo, Muslim. Alam nyo ba yung Muslim, pagdating sa yung gender, naninibabaw palagi ang lalaki. Pero ito, ang head ng space program ng United Arab Emirates, a young woman. Ito ang credentials niya.
Yeah, actually, her name is Sarah Al-Amiri. She is 33 years
May
old.
picture ka ba niyan?
To look it up, makaya.
Sarah Al-Amiri.
Yeah. So we're going to, is UAE's first Minister of State for Advanced Sciences. And also the chairperson of the country's space agency, 33 years old.
Kaya,
yung detalye po is, along with India and the EU, the UAE recently became successful in inserting a spacecraft into orbit around Mars on the first try. So you have three countries, or well, EU, siguro programa to, cooperation. The mission was announced in 2014, and Hope Probe became succeeded in entering the atmosphere. Ito yung Hope Probe, yun yung satellite nila. It was started in 2014 with research and development with different countries, and it succeeded in entering Mars's orbit on February 9. Okay. Leading the science mission is Sarah Amiri, yung 33-year-old.
2014 and now it's 2021. From the time the science space program was started in 2014,
the mission was announced. With other countries.
Announced. That means they worked on it, and 7 years after,
yeah, she was the point person for UAE.
Okay.
So parang ganon. Tapos after that, she elevated. So he's a project manager. She's project manager of this. She's a computer engineer and Minister for Advanced Sciences. She's chairperson of UAE Space Agency, which developed the Hope Orbiter. Okay. In conjunction with the University of Colorado and the University of Berkeley and Arizona State University. So sila, operations. The Iranian-born Amiri is one of the youngest ministers worldwide, and is also the youngest to lead a space agency. Graduated with computer engineering from the American University and Sharjah in Sharjah. I would assume there it's Saudi Arabia. Worked as a program engineer at Emirates Institution for Advanced Science and Technology for 2 years. So she's a scientist at 33 years old, and now she's celebrated because she's very young. She's a Muslim in a very, how do you say, controlled society. Diba? Saudi Arabia is one of the most conservative societies for women. And yet, she's leading this, and she is, and yung Hope Orbiter po na develop po nila, of which she is the project head, nandun na sa Mars. Imagine that. And I was, may speech tayo dito, pero hindi about the success. It's during a TED Talks. Medyo mahaba. I don't know if we can play kasi medyo 20 minutes na lang tayo. Pero, maganda po i-research nyo, Sarah Amiri. Sarah Amiri, di ba? Online. Yeah. So maganda po yun because nagulat lang si Chairman when we were talking about it kasi napakabata.
You know, yung buong space agency are manned. Ang mga taong nagtatrabaho
doon sa UAE.
sa UAE, no? The youngest is 27 years old and the oldest is 37 years old. Ang babata po, and yet they are in a position, actually, as lead country sila dito sa mga ito, United Arab Emirates, to be able to send a craft to orbit Mars and to closely supposed to be looking for signs of life in Mars. The next step is, of course, to land a rover in Mars. Or probably, if they work together with the US, with China, even with Russia, no? Probably the next step will be to land human beings, a man, in Mars.
Yun na nga, yung goal daw nila as the space agency includes plans to build a human settlement on Mars by 2117.
Wow.
21. So, next century.
100 years from now.
Yeah, to facilitate training and research, the country plans to build UAE, a science city in the deserts of Dubai, to simulate Martian conditions, dry, heat, you know. But the key is that the way they're looking at it is a century hence.
Vision.
Century
100 years ahead.
Oh.
No?
Just go. So she became, just to finish her profile, no? She became, in 2014, she was program manager for the advanced aerial systems in the country's space center. She was responsible for putting together the engineering teams for the space agency. Just go. Then she was appointed the head of the Emirates Science Council in 2016. Wow, what a, you know, ano tayo? You're speechless because it's hope, diba? Hope for humanity. We were talking. Hope for the future. It's outward looking. It's in cooperation with countries in the world. So for one goal, mission outside to discover and scientific. And it's also nakakapanghinayang kasi tayo dito sa Pilipinas, we were talking about, sabi ko, you know, if we had started the Bataan nuclear power plant, the program in 1980, the 70s, started by Marcos.
70s started, but we were ready by 1980.
Right, for the plant.
Yeah.
But the vision was to have a nuclear agency.
Yeah.
So if had that gone, we would have had many different nuclear power plants in the Philippines. And our lives, the Filipinos' lives, would have been transformed. And maybe, we would be looking at also a space program earlier, much earlier. Can you imagine?
Maybe earlier than United Arab Emirates.
Oh, definitely, because nauna tayo sa nuclear at 70s.
If we only had less politics and we had more visionary leaders who would project the Filipinos like this one 100 years from now, invest na itong mga nangyari sa atin. At nakikita niyo po, the reason so lamentable. When you hear of these things and how the development, you now can see how our country was destroyed.
Yeah.
And how our future has been stolen from us. Now, but it does not mean, of course, we give up hope.
Right.
No? For as long as you, us, and any others can think and realize the problem, then we will know how to solve it. And maybe provide the necessary direction for the next generation to push on and join these other countries into some collaborative effort. Can you imagine, for example, there are 3 satellites going on around Mars right now. What if there was a collaborative effort among these 3 countries and include them to Russia, and include France, and include Japan and South Korea. So to make one whole effort to do what they're doing now, invest na times divided by 3. 1. Ang bilis natin maabot yung sinasabi ng United Arab Emirates. Maybe in less than 100 years. Maybe in 2 decades, nandun na.
In our lifetime.
In our lifetime, makikita po natin maglaland ang man sa Mars at mag-uumpisa na po silang mag-colonize. You cannot suppress man's creativity. But for as long as there are evil people like the deep state and the cabal,
the population is
one world order, at kukontrolin nila yung human beings, suppress their creativity and make them slaves. It will set us back. You know, human beings, whatever amount of, you destroy them. For as long as there is a few that are alive, they will repopulate the world and again think as human beings.
In the image and
likeness of God, because they have that quality.
We are the only ones.
But sometimes we destroy ourselves by greed, by power, and it's used to be politics, and you lie to the people.
Saka maganda yan, yung imagine nga, yung sabi nga ni Chairman, imagine if all countries collaborate and send satellites or a major satellite, mabilis yung development, sobrang bilis. I would even venture to say, in the next 10 years, we would have something.
Yeah.
Because mabilis, hindi na nag-aaway-aaway. Tapos the knowledge, ang knowledge po, when a country goes into research and innovation and technology and sciences, yung benefit po sa population, napakalaki. Mabilis yung development ng tao, mas mabilis sa agriculture, communications, water, lahat. All the science that will come in. When you send and discover new things about space and all that knowledge is shared with humanity, so, ibang level yun yung development ng human beings.
Ang ganda-ganda sana nga you look for projects in the world now that would be ideal, for international collaboration. I cannot think of anything better than a space exploration. Magsama-sama ang scientifico ng lahat ng mga bansa na magagaling, and all for the good of the population of the world. Colonize Mars. The science that will go into that will mean an improvement of the quality of life here on Earth. Even before we colonize Mars, magkakaroon na ng improvement. Kasi yung science development, makaka-discover ng iba-ibang methods, iba-ibang materials, ganyan-ganyan. At makikinabang agad ang mga tao. Ganyan po yung nangyari. Nung sabi ni John F. Kennedy, 10 years from now, we will land the man on the moon. Sabi niya. At the whole effort of the United States went into that. Only of the United States. Wala po silang katulong.
May kalaban pa sila, Russia.
May kalaban pa sila sa Russia. Pero as you can see, ang nangyari doon, marami silang na-develop na techniques. Yung mga managerial techniques, yung mga
science, math,
BERT CPM, yan. Yung critical path method, pati na yung microwave technology nag-expand, robotics,
Ito,
yung
where do you think cellular technology came from?
Pati yung robotics, yung mechanization, yung ganyan, yung nagawa nila. It started there. And And so in the same light, now if collaboration of yun ang nangyari. The other one, no, is the BRI, the Belt and Road Initiative. Nandito lang po tayo. Ang Belt and Road Initiative is to create a land bridge, no? Railways using high-tech magnetic levitation and high-speed rails that will cross and connect all of the continents of the world. And this will be railways powered by electric power, no? That every country that has these things going around them will have nuclear plants put up, because they will have to feed electricity to these trains. These trains are not just for cargo; it will also be for people. No? And if you're going at about 1,000 kilometers per hour, that's pretty fast. So that you can go around the world by land, no? In the comforts of a train. Can you imagine the development that is going to make? And when you have this amount of goods that are traveling by rail, the impact on commerce is going to be very fast. What used to take by air, goods that travel to get transported by air, no, will now go by rail, which is much faster and much more economical. Yung by air, it was so expensive, so things became expensive. By boat, pwede din by boat kung hindi inaabutan ng rail. No? Kaya nakikita nyo po yung mga boat, pero matagal, di ba po? Pero yung rail mas mabilis. 1,000 kilometers per hour po ang kaya ng maglev. As of today.
Yeah, as of today.
But in the next few years, malay natin how fast that's gonna go.
And you can power that with solar.
No, it will not run by solar, nor by wind.
Nor by wind.
It has to be nuclear.
Only nuclear.
Anyway, yan po ang ating programa today.
Nakakainis. Nakakainis talaga because, you know, when they started that, 1978, I think,
Yeah.
diba?
Yeah.
The nuclear power program. And then we talked to the first engineer.
Fidel Correa. He was the general manager of that plant.
NPP.
And he was the one who got it to run for 2 weeks on a test run.
Yeah. Pero hindi lang yun. The point was, pinadala siya.
Yes.
To study and to research and to work in the US.
They went to the US. They were a team of about sabi niya about 20-30 people.
Imagine.
Ano lang yan? Engineering, doon lang sa kanilang PIAT, yung mga ganyan.
MIT.
Wala pong mga nuclear engineering tayo nun. Tapos dinala sila doon, nag-hands-on operations. Hands-on. Nagtrabaho agad sila sa mga nuclear power plants. Lahat ng mga Westinghouse na itinayo, para kabisado nila.
Training.
So natuto sila. At ito ngayon ang ibinalik para magpaandar ng ating planta.
And imagine so kayang-kaya natin. Marami kasi nagsasabi, pag Pinoy yan, corrupt yan, hindi kaya yan. Ay, mag-isip-isip muna tayo, bago sabihin ng ganyan. One thing that Fidel Correa said, nasasayangan talaga daw siya. Because he was proud to be the first. Yung ID niya, number 1
Yeah.
ID
First,
issued 001 check.
001 nuclear engineer.
Yes. Imagine.
Binansagan siya as nuclear engineer. Ang ID niya 0001.
So, and he said, when in talk namin before, he said that he was proud that he wanted to tell his children. He wanted his children to go into the nuclear program also.
Yes.
And the nuclear research and the nuclear
Because he knew
science.
the Philippines will have a future.
Yes. Imagine po.
Nung nakakausap po na, yumaon na po si Fidel Correa a few years ago. Pero nung nakakausap po namin, dahil nagtayo tayo ng organization called Atoms for Peace, no? At kasama po si Fidel Correa noon nung tinayo namin yan. Nung nakakausap namin, maluha-luha siya eh. No? Na sinayang natin ang ating pagkakataon dito sa nuclear power plant.
He was very young. They got him. Yeah. Anyway, we can do another 3 years of discussion on nuclear power dito. But let's answer kasi medyo last 5 minutes na tayo. Okay. Angelo Redaha, happy Valentine's Day, Sir Butch. Good PM, Sir Butch. Valdes watching from Malolos, Bulacan. Angel Femelen, good evening po, Ka-Butch and Ka-Itos. Listening now, DZXL 558, Facebook page, Katipunan. Elsa May Cabelcel Gas, happy Valentine's. I'm watching from New Bataan, Davao de Oro. Bago yan, Larry Bernardo, Sir Butch, uso na ba tapalan ng pera sa US para pinagkaisahan nila si Trump? Sir Butch, hindi po ba act of war mansang nakialam sa election sa US? Yes. Kaya medyo masalimuot ang ginagawa nila ngayon sa alam namin. All the information, Larry, no? Very, very extensive and broad yung kanilang investigation now. And pag may nalaman sila, marami pong na-aresto. So that's what we think is happening now. Kaya medyo kalma-kalma, pero si Biden nagkukunwaring presidente siya. Tess Ramiro, US is now under military supervision, kaya di makakita si Biden at tuloy pa ang kaso laban sa election fraud. Tama yung info na binabalita nyo, kaya nag-resign lahat dahil kasapakat siya sa US election fraud at umamin na yung gumawa ng fraud with affidavit. Well, let's see. That will come out soon if ever. Olivia Tiglao, more power sa inyo, Coach Butch and Coach Itos. Thank you, Olivia. Zenea Arcilia, good evening po, Sir Butch and Itos. Happy Valentine's Day po. God bless you po watching here in Hong Kong. Randy Castillo, good evening po mga idol. Happy Valentine's Day, Sir Butch and Itos. Watching from Japan. Acquit si Trump sa pool ang mga Democrats, mga hypocrites. Romulo Aguinaldo, hi mga sir, happy Valentine's po sa inyo, more power. Thank you. Ruth Groot, hindi sila nagwagi kay Lolo Trump, mga kababayan. Moods Kerubin, Sir Butch, wala na ba chance na mabilang ulit ang mga boto sa mga battleground states para malaman talaga ang katotohanan kung nagkaroon ng dayan sa last election?
Ngayon po talagang umaabot po sa ganyan. Kaya sinabi namin kanina, itong mga battleground states, actually may kasong isinampa dyan 22 cases. At out of the 22, 15 cases na panalo na. Ibig sabihin nagbilangan na at nakita po nila yung dayaan. No? At napanalo na ni Trump. No? Ang 15 out of the 22 cases.
Yeah, pero may proseso, I think, diba?
Yeah.
You have to follow up.
But let's follow the process, no? Kasi meron pang Supreme Court yan eh. No?
Yeah, so hindi madali yun. So, but there is a chance, syempre. Yun yung talagang mangyayari. But there is a process na they have to prove na these votes were not legal. Joe Saavedra, happy Valentine's Day to all Katipuneros. Mabuhay po kayo. William Laguno, God bless to all Katipuneros here. Happy Valentine's. Eric Bautista, good evening ka, Butch Kaitos. Mabuhay KDP. Gloria Siebert, magandang gabi po sa inyo at happy Valentine's Day. Watching from Germany with love. Freddy Redina, President General Flynn preparing patriotic candidates for mayors, governors, senators, congressmen for 2022 elections. Tentative date, March 4, 2021. Trump said talking to China and Russia is a good thing, not a bad thing.
That's right.
That's what he said when he just got into office. Jack Ma, sinuheto ng China at daming nahuling korap. Pati McDonald's, KFC, etc. na gumagamit ng human meat na huli. Wow, wonder if that's true. Virginia Malone, so happy Valentine's Day po mga sir watching from Pasig. Cherry Lit, good evening po sa inyo mga sir, mabuhay po ang Pilipinas. Rodvite Periabas, magandang gabi po Sir Butch, Sir Itos, napaghahalata itong tuloy itong si Lacson, napapet siya ng mga kano. Paano ba naman kumontra na naman kay Duterte? Nang sabihin ni Duterte na magbabayad ang Amerika tungkol sa VFA. Palibhasa, mga tuta sila ng kano. Okay lang sa kanila na pagsamantalan ang Pilipinas. Ungas ka, Pinky Lacson, watching you from Subi. Alright, tama. Giancarlo EY, this talks about H1N1 fake pandemic. So may link siya dyan. Marilu de la Peña Descaler, Dems are scared of President Trump. Alright. Ben Archivido, UAE, Baraka 1 nuclear power plant's first grid connection was just last August 19, 2020. Baraka 2, 3, and 4 nuclear power plants are 90% complete. BNP ready in 1985. What happened? Ito nga. Elizabeth de los Reyes Gutierrez. Happy Valentine's. Naku, mag-aircon na sa desierto. Diba? Dahil sa nuclear power plant. Elizabeth de los Reyes Gutierrez. Happy Valentine's Day, mga ka-KDP forever from Taytay. You know, that's possible. Diba? With all their nuclear plants.
What will happen is grabe ang agricultural development yan because yung mga, kung nasa desierto sila at maraming desert areas, they will be in a position to
desalinate.
Desalinate and
water.
irrigate all of these areas, and then they will.
Which is the vision of Franklin Roosevelt.
Right.
Diba? Malval, nice. Joanna Tullier, good Sunday po, KDP, Butch, Anitas, Valdes. Arok Alip, magandang gabi po. Kapal na mga kakampi ni Biden, lalo na si Harris, parang dito, tulad na lang sila ni Lugaw at ni Ontivirus. Pagkatapos ng failed impeachment, meron uling harapin si President Trump ng mga legal cases na inihahanda ng kanyang mga kalaban at pati ng mga business taxes bubusisiin ng mga ulol. Tama. Kinaya nila style ng politics dito sa Pinas. From Joanne Undoy, good evening po sa inyo, Sir Butch at Itos. Happy Heart Day. Thank you sa pakikipaglaban para sa kapwa Pilipino. Roger Rodolfo, tuso talaga mga Democrats na to. Hipokrito pa. Correct. Reggie Maloyloyon Avenido, good evening po, Sir Butch at Itos. Cesar Soberano, President. Sir, what can we expect from a COMELEC renewing its contract with Smartmatic Dominion? The PET, led by Leonen, is not expected to resolve the VP issue, and Glenn Chong's aide and driver had been killed by the COMELEC Smartmatic syndicate that paid Colonel Carranza, etc. The integrity and credibility of the 2022 polls may again be compromised, and the oligarchy, local and foreign, will lord it over again in our economy and politics. Yes.
Alam nyo, I've always said, even before, that you're barking up the wrong tree. No? You must bark up at COMELEC and abolish COMELEC. If you abolish COMELEC, you don't need Smartmatic and Dominion. No? Yan, Smartmatic, ano lang yan, mga machines na pinapatakbo under contract ng COMELEC. Tanggalin mo yung COMELEC at matatanggal din yung Smartmatic Dominion. Eh kaso, pag tinanggal mo yung Smartmatic Dominion, mag-iibang pangalan lang yan, ipapasok din naman yung kanilang sistemang pandaraya. Napakadali po magpalit ng mga pangalan yan eh. No? All you have to do is change your name, corporate name, pero you're the same animal. No? This is what had happened. No? And you have to get rid of COMELEC. And then, those people that are trying to get to take advantage of this anti-Smartmatic for their own political interest, no? Pwede ba wag niyong gamitin yan, no? Sabihin niyo, COMELEC ang tanggalin. Tingnan natin kung malakas ang loob niyo mag-call na tanggalin yung COMELEC. Kasi ang COMELEC po, tumatanggap din yung mga yan para papanalunin kayo. Just because natanggal yung Smartmatic, pananalo na ba kayo? Hindi. Lalagyan nyo pa rin yung COMELEC. Kaya kayong mga politiko na kunwari galit na galit sa Smartmatic Dominion, pwede ba? Diretsuhin nyo ang taong bayan. You go for the abolishment of COMELEC.
May ibang politiko ba na galit sa smart?
Meron din mga iba, pero yung mga talunan. Pero they use it as an excuse, no?
Yeah.
But all of you politicians, I dare you to go for the abolition of COMELEC. Tingnan natin kung talagang matapang kayo at sincero kayo.
Rain. Sir Itas, have you heard that Mike Pence was attacked and killed by angry supporters of President Trump in Columbus, Indiana this Feb 13? I don't know. I've never heard.
I'm not sure if that is accurate, but
Valdes Sherpa.
Just let us know where you got the news, Rain, so that maybe we can try to verify.
Valdes Sherpa. Joe, very much ignorant, hunger of power.
Yeah.
Andro Felizardo, the truth will always prevail. Thank you for telling us the truth. Lagalag Nawaray, good evening mga Katipunero, watching from Riyadh, KSA.
Kingdom of
Saudi Arabia. Yes. Marilu de la Peña de Escalar, ibang na si Lolo Joe. Noel Yuichi, happy Valentine's Day po mga Katipuneros. Junaida Aljo Calves Kumalinom, sana di maupo si Joe. Japanese Sake, good evening po mga sir, happy Valentine's. Eric Ortiz, maggabi po Sir Butch, Valdes, Sir Itos, God bless you Eric. Wilfredo Openiano, watching po mga sir. Kap Butch, nalulungkot kung si PRRD ay sunod-sunuran din kay Biden. Kawawa naman ang bansa natin. Dami-dami na problemas ng Pilipinas, lalo na sa ekonomiya. Pepito Tayag, sabi ni Charlie Ward na ideklara ni Trump ang martial law sekreto bago idineklara na nanalo si Biden. O nga, sabi ni Charlie Ward yan. Hilaria Sarte, good evening sir. How about the SCS in South China Sea? Who won't start a war?
Ano to?
The South China Sea.
It won't start a war.
About the conflict. Bong Huntilla, you want to answer that?
I don't understand the question.
Oh, okay. Bong Huntilla, good PM ka, Butch, may balita na by March 4 daw na may assume na si Donald Trump bilang ika-19th na president ng American Republic. Tulad ng ginawa noon daw ni President Abraham Lincoln. Gaano kaya katotoo ang balitang ito, ka, Butch?
Alam niyo, Bong, marami siyempre nakakarinig ng mga ganyan-ganyang balita.
Yeah.
No? At si Donald Trump mismo, narinig na binasa ni Itos yung kanyang pahayag. No? Sinabi niya, we will see each other soon and there's some work to be done the next few months. No? But we will see each other soon, sabi niya, although maybe in a different form. Whatever that, alam mo, may ano yon, may mga meaning yung sinabi niyang yon, no?
Yeah.
At kung tutusin, akba din dito sa mga naririnig natin mga pahayag, no? We don't know exactly, but we know something is brewing.
Yep. So let's see, lalabas at lalabas naman yan. Jordan Pringles, good evening, Butch and Sir Ito. Si Trump lang po ang bukod tanging president o government official sa history ng Amerika o probably ng mundo na hindi sumisweldo ng isang sentimo. Free ang servisyo niya. Oo nga, dinodonate niya daw yung salary niya. Luisa de la Cruz, good evening, KDP. Very intellectual discussions regarding Trump. Mabuhay, God bless you all. Raf XB, good evening po, Chairman Butch Itos and Sir Itos. We are still hoping that it is not over yet for the U.S. and the free world soon. The Philippines may still have a chance this coming 2020.
Maybe, yeah.
Nori Renon, Happy Valentine's Day po mga sir. Rebecca Bautista, name your price para manalo ka sa eleksyon. Alam na. Stormy Savi, yung strategy ng Democrats to discredit Trump ay hindi po para sa tama at kaluwiran. The only purpose ay gusto nila to show the whole world kung gaano sila ka-powerful. Agree po ba kayo?
Yeah, at hindi mga Democrats ang nagpapakitang power, no? Alam namang lahat na Democrats, mga politiko lang yan. Ang talagang nagpapakita ng power, yung tinatawag natin deep state or yung kabal. Ito po yung mga malalaking, dambuhalang mga korporasyon na nandyan sa Wall Street, no? At sila din yung mga dambuhalang nagpapairam ng pera, mga bangko, mga financial institution, katulad ng sinabi na ni Itos kanina, yung BlackRock, no? Yung BlackRock po, trillion ng pera niyan, no? At minumudmud sa iba-ibang mga korporasyon para mahawakan nila lahat ng korporasyon na importante sa buong mundo. Ganyan po ang kanilang mga direksyon, no? Yan ang mga nagpapakita ng gilas at lakas. Tapos, kaya po nilang bayaran yung mga George Soros na yan. At kaya nila din bayaran yung mga ahente sa FBI, sa CIA. Kanya ang napakahirap po ng problema ni Donald Trump. Wala siyang mapagkatiwalaan. Pag linagay niya dito, katulad po ni Attorney General Barr, William Barr. Kala niya, bata niya, nung pala, hawak na pala ng deep state itong si Barr. No? Ganyan po ang sitwasyon.
Mahirap. Pero just as yung to show the whole world kung gaano sila ka-powerful. Actually, pinapakita nila kung gaano sila ka-desperado. Yun ang lumalabas dun eh. Kasi parang wala na si Trump sa eksena. Kung totoo wala na si Trump sa eksena, ba't pa nila parang tina-target. So let's see what happens. Priscilla Sevlag, new po akong taga-subaybay. Maraming salamat po sa pagtanggol sa karapatan ng mga Pilipino. Welcome, Priscilla. Jet 215, the reason why President Putin did not congratulate Biden as a new U.S. president is because he knew he did not win the 2020 election. He knew that the election was rigged.
Yep.
Better than our own president. Federico Mana.
Presidente natin po. Isa sa mga naunang nag-congratulate kay Biden. Kakaya.
Federico Mana, good evening Sir Butch at Itos. Ano na ang dapat natin gawin upang magawa ng solusyon ng sobrang privatization at globalization? Mahirap kung sa eleksyon lang, lalo na sa Smartmatic pa ang gagamitin. Yun pa rin mananalong kandidato nila. Correct. Dapat RevGov na para na manggagaling o magsisimula sa mga mamamayan at pilitin si President Duterte ay deklara niya. Opinion ko lang po.
Tama naman yung opinion mo, Federico Mana. No? Ang katunayan, meron na po tayong ino-organize. No? At gagawin natin pong opisyal itong pahayag natin. Meron po tayong rally na ino-organize para sa February 19 sa May Menjola. No? At dito po, magbibigay ng isang manifesto ang organisasyon na ang tinatawag natin dito Kamao. Katipunan Movement Against Oligarchs. Pinagsasamahan po nito ng KDP, ng RDRG, mga iba-ibang mga RevGov organizations, no? At iba pa, marami pong iba mga organisasyon ng mga doktor, organisasyon ng mga manggagawa, at magkasapi po lahat ito. At ang maganda po dito, isasabay po natin yan sa Zoom. No? Mananawagan po tayo sa lahat ng ating mga kababayan, hindi lang po dito sa ating bansa, kundi yung pong pati na yung mga nasa ibang bansa na mga OFWs, Kung meron kayong mga organisasyon dyan, o maski na individual, sumapi po kayo dito, padala nyo yung mga pangalan ninyo at lugar para gagawin po natin dyan. Pag napadala nyo yung pangalan nyo, ibig sabihin, sumasang-ayon kayo dito sa manifesto na babasahin natin sa February 19. No? At itong mga pangalan nyo lahat, isasama natin sa isang dokumento na ibibigay kay Presidente Duterte sa Malacanang. No? Ang panawagan pong ito ay itulak at magdeklara ng state of emergency ang Pangulo ayon sa Article 12, Section 17 and 18 na ang mandato ay akuin ang public utilities sa kuryente, sa tubig, sa telecom at ano pang ibang kakailanganin, no? Para ibaba ang halaga ng kuryente at tubig at tigilin muna ang pagpuputol ng kuryente at ng tubig ng ating mga mamamayan. No? We will ask for this, no? and ask the President to declare a state of emergency because this situation, if he does not do it, is actually killing more people than what COVID itself is doing. 10 times more, maybe even more than 10 times than COVID ang papatayin nitong pagbagsak ng sitwasyon para sa ating mga mamamayan. Walang trabaho, walang pambili ng pagkain, tumataas ang halaga ng pagkain, mataas pa rin ang halaga ng kuryente, ng tubig at lahat. Lahat po, no, ang pumapatay ng tao. Tapos pinipilit pa nila itong mga bakuna na hindi naman magsasalba ng buhay. Kung man meron gagawin sa buhay yan, malamang papatayin pa yan dahil sa mga side effects. Yan po ang ating gagawin panawagan pagdating ng February 19. Tandaan nyo po yan. Hapon, mga alauna po ng hapon ng magsasama-sama doon yung mga tanghali sa Mendiola. Pero yung Zoom po, ay i-connect po natin yan sa Zoom. Kung alam nyo po yung Zoom meeting, para tayong magkakaroon ng rally na gamit ang Zoom. Pero malawakan po tayo. Nationwide and in a real sense, worldwide. No? Ang organisasyon po na mumuno dito ay ang KAMAO, Katipunan Movement Against Oligarchs. Ito po ang pinagkaisahan ng KDP, Katipunan Demokratikong Pilipino, RDRG, UFCC, no? Yung bagong organisasyon laban sa monopolya ng mga telcos at mga organisasyon ng mga doktor laban sa bakuna, organisasyon ng mga ibang mga magulang, no? Organisasyon ng lahat, iba-ibang organisasyon, nakikiisa sila dito. Pati na rin yung mga gustong RevGov na federalization, kasama po sila dito. Dahil po ang hinihingi natin, wala pong politika, ang hinihingi natin para sa kapakanan ng taong bayan. At in effect, para sa ating bansa. February 19 po, Federico, huwag mong kalimutan yan. At pakisabi na rin, at pakibalita na rin sa ating mga kaibigan at mga pamilya, ang tabayanan po nila dito sa Katipunan Channel, sa ating mga programa dito, sa darating na mga araw, i-anunsyo po namin sa inyo yung mga cellphone number na pwede niyong padalan ng mga pangalan nyo at address at organisasyon at yung pong website ng KAMAO, kamao.ph, di ba yun? kamao.ph.com kamao.ph.com at yung KDP Katipunan Demokratikong Pilipino. Lalabas po. Ito po yung number para maintindihan nyo, the February 19, yan, ang number po na pwede nyong padala ng mga pangalan ninyo na in effect sinasabi nyo sa SAPI kayo, 0995-330-7210. Ulitin ko po, 0995-330-7210. Ay ilagay nyo na lang po yan, kamao, no? At padala nyo po yan. At abangan nyo po yung Zoom link tsaka passcode na i-anunsyo po namin. We will announce that one day before February 19. No? Okay, next.
Anacela Watson, ang China nagbully lang yun, takot lang yan ang China sa electromagnetic warfare. Yes. Hindi totoo si Biden ay control ng Amerika. Walang tao ang White House, patay ang ilaw at sa Castle Rock, White House, ang shooting ng fake whereabouts ng Communist Party of China lang ang kontrobida puppet tyrant deep state.
Okay.
Alan De Ausen, baka naman kaya gusto ma-impeach si Trump para hindi na makahabol pa sa dayaan bilang ng eleksyon. Dahil alam nila may nangyari nga daw.
That's right.
Maybe. Crisel Sol is watching from Canada. Happy Valentine's. Armando Howe, good evening. Watching from UAE, Dubai.
Yes.
Yan. Richard Batalla, watching from Toronto. Very, very good topics, Richard Batalla. Jean Globio, good evening. Gian Pogi. Thanks, Doc. Gandang gabi mga boss. Tuloy ba election sa Pilipinas? Dapat wala ng dynasty para maiwasan ang korupsyon.
Ayusin muna po natin itong Article 12, Section 17-18. Pag maayos yan po at gawin po ni Duterte ang kinakailangan niyang gawin, no? Mag-declare ng state of emergency hinggil dito at pigilin niya itong napakataas na kuryente at tubig, palagay ko po, baka umabot po tayo ng 2022. Pero pag hindi niya po ginawa ito, hindi ko alam kung ano na ang kalagayan ng taong bayan pagdating ng 2022. No?
Vicente Victoriano, watching from Iloilo City, happy Valentine's, God bless. MG Ocasla, President Trump is a good man. He cares for his people and he loves his country. He's not perfect, but he is a good leader para sa bansa. Malacanang Palace, Mindanao, Philippines. Kaya si Duterte unang nag-congratulate kay Biden kasi member sila ng globalist pareho. Marisa Buya, wagas po ang iyong malasakit sa mamamayang Pilipino. Sana maantig ang puso ng Jesus Karating. Sumusuporta po ako sa inyong mabuting hangarin para sa ating mamamayan at isulong ang ating kapakanan para mabuhay ang marangal na pagpalain po ng Panginoon at ating laban para sa kahirapan. Para sa kahirapan. God bless po. Against kahirapan. Emily Stotsem, join kayo lahat dito mga kabayan sa Feb 19, BBM, DBS, supporters, mga matitinong mag-isip. Para sa inyo rin din lahat to. Happy Hearts Day sa lahat. Peace. Okay. Meron pa. Isa na lang. Stormy Savi, ano sa tingin nyo bakit hindi sang-ayon si Duterte sa advocacy ng Kamao? Ano po yung dahilan?
Di po natin alam. Siguro pinipigilan siya ng kanyang mga advisors, mga cabinet members. Yan po ang palagay natin. Kanya hindi siya gumagalaw. Baka ayaw pagalawin ng kanyang cabinet members. Kasi alam niyo po, parang gulong-gulo ng si Duterte, no? Lalong-lalo na narinig ko siya, sabi niya, our economy is sinking deeper and deeper. Tapos wala na siyang sinabi, gusto sabihin, wala siyang solusyon. No? Ay, ang nakakalungkot yan, ang nakakatakot, sabihin nyo, baka hindi niya linalaban ng oligarko dahil kaibigan na niya yung mga oligarko. Yan po ang nakakatakot dahil kawawa naman ng taong bayan.
Zenny Arcilia, kasi po mga yan, si Biden, tampon ng Judas, mga globalist kabaryan. Sila magkakasabwat, Kalyan People Gates, Tedros, Soros, Macron. Moods Carabin, magandang gabi po mga sir. Sinisira kasi nila mga vision ni Pangulong Marcos para sa ating bansa. OFW po ng UAE. Abang Fabro, good evening po mga tiponero. Marie Oishi, paano po kaming nandito sa Japan? Jake Vlogs, ang nangyari kay Trump sa kanyang administrasyon sa Amerika ay parang duplicated sa Pilipinas. Ang nangyari kay PRRD. Okay.
Titig ko po, wag niyong kalilimutan on February 19, for all of you in Japan and out of the Philippines, you can join us in a rally via Zoom. And we will host this in our studio here, dito po sa Katipunan channel. And we will start broadcasting at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. No? At meron po tayong mga guests na magsasalita at lahat po kayo, susubukan natin kung meron kayong gustong ipahayag, kung gusto nyo magsalita sa Zoom po, makikita natin na andyan kayo. Meron pong signal doon na gusto nyo magsalita. Magsasalita kayo ng mga 1 o 2 minuto, no? Para ipahayag na nandyan kayo. So, huwag nyo kalilimutan February 19. But every broadcast day until February 19, we will be announcing the details. Okay, sa ngalan po ng ating mga katipon dito sa ating katipunan at sa magagaling na staff ng DCXL Radio Mo Nationwide, kami po ay pansamantalang nagpapaalam at nagpapasalamat na sinamahan nyo kami ngayon, ang Ora de Peligro ng ating bayan at ng buong mundo, dito po sa ating katipunan. Hanggang sa linggo pong muli, mga katipon, 7 to 9 p.m. Happy Valentine! Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat.